again. I know it's been a long time, but you know, I'm a man. I have things I need to do. Now, you may ask what I've been doing for about a year and some change. Well, I've been doing me, of course, but in a different light. I had things that I needed to address in my own life. I had a path that I needed to take, and that path is coming to a close. Now I understand a little bit more things and I'm more enlightened. That was the whole goal and purpose of this path. Sorry I didn't give you guys any warning. Sorry I didn't give you guys any explanation in the middle ground or before ground. But this is something that needed to be done. I hope you guys are understanding of that. And I hope that you will continue to listen because I have a lot to teach, of course. Along my journey, I've seen a lot of things. I've been a lot of places, met a few people. And through those experiences, I definitely have some virtues and some things to tell you guys as a result of those things and those experiences. But nonetheless, I'm going to be back on it. I don't know how often because, when you go back to doing anything, you just can't really jump right into it at the same threshold that you left as. So it'll be a slow, gradual introduction, and, I'll go back to going live and doing other videos and such. But in the meantime, here I am. This is what you get. But anyway, to the topic. Now, everyone has been talking about Derrick Janx. Oh, yes. This is the perfect time for me to come back because it reiterates the things that I've been saying for a very long time to men and women. Men, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with the women around you. You have to be honest with everything that you do, everything that you are, because if you are not, it will come back to haunt you. There's only so long that an individual can stop wearing a mask. People wear masks all the time. Well, let me rephrase that. It's only so long that a person can wear that mask for a very long time. No one can wear a mask forever. No matter what kind of mask you have on, whether it be a breathing mask, whether it be a facial mask, whether it be a hollowing mask, no one wears that mask forever. Your face, you wear forever. This is the face that you will have for the rest of your life unless something ungodly happens to it. But otherwise, this will be the face that you will have. Sure, it will age. Sure, it will change slightly. May get lighter or darker. Depends on what's going on. But nonetheless, this is your face. To hide behind a persona is to lie to yourself. And it is to create a path for yourself that is not meant for you. Because you have to look at things as linear. Now, you can only walk on one path at a time. You can't walk on two. Your feet is only designed to go in one direction. If you move with your left, you can't go with your right to go to the right. They usually go in sync in the same direction. So even though you have 2 feet, you cannot walk 2 paths, even still. That being said, when you lie, when you create a persona of yourself that is not necessarily true to who you are, that is a mask. And eventually that mask will break and people will see your cracks and people will see what's behind the true mask. Now, some may disbelieve it because they are caught up in the mysticism of what your mask presents, the illusion of who you claim to be. But nonetheless, there will be those, a great percentage more than likely, who will see who you truly are behind that mask. What I'm getting at here is something that I have said many times. Men are men. Just as sure as you can expect the dog to bark, just as sure as you can expect the cat to meow, you can expect men to display their nature. Now, even in nature, as it exists, we have a lot of mimicry animals. For instance, there's a certain type of beetle that mimics a colonized ant, all because he wants to get some of the spoils that the ants partake in, because he is not able to do the same thing structurally that ants do structurally. So he mimics. He becomes one of the colony. But eventually, they kill that Beetle. Why? Because they realize that something that he does is quite not the same. They see that it's a little bit off, and they test him. Sure, he may give the right feedback. Ants are very touchy-feely, kind of. They like to tap on each other in order to signal, and they use pheromones as well. Now, this beetle may pick up the pheromones, and it may learn the tapping signals, but as evolution has it, one goes in a different direction than the other. These are the different paths. The ant is truly an ant, but the beetle is always truly a beetle, no matter how much it imitates being an ant. And what happens? An untimely demise, more than likely, because that beetle gets found out to be truly who and what it is. This is no different than life men. This is no different than life women, because who you are will be found. So stay on your path, just like many others should have, such as Derrick, Janx, of course. He is a phenomenon in a sorts, because he had to do things a certain way in order to fit his niche that he had. And that was primarily talking to women, boosting their egos, picking them up by the bootstraps, if you will. He was lifting his fellow sister up. But was he really? I mean, you question exactly how could such a man who has spoken so highly about his relationships and how to maintain a relationship, how could he be doing something such as this? It should prompt you to question everything in retrospect, meaning you look back and you see how many cracks did you miss? How many clues were already there that you should have picked up? Makes you wonder, huh? Nonetheless, men have seen this for as long as we have seen this. As soon as he came onto the scene, we seen him as a phony. One thing you should understand is that I have a saying, and I always have a saying. You guys know I have a saying, that if someone says something, let's say, for an example, someone says, there's a such thing as a purple colored ear of corn, and you have never seen this or heard of this notion in your life, and you go on about your day. Maybe a few months pass, and the topic gets brought up again by a totally different person that you don't know. It says, hey, have you ever heard that there are purple ears of corn? And you say, no, I've heard that before, but I didn't really pay any mind to it. It's just an odd kind of thing that I didn't decide to look into. And they say, yeah, it's just a thing. And the conversation goes on and translates to something else. Well, transitions to something else, rather. And let's say another 6 months goes by, another few months goes by, and you run into another person. And here you are getting prompt with this purple ear corn again. At that point, according to my philosophy, you should believe that there is a such thing as a purple ear corn, because these are three people who don't know each other, and there's too much time in between them where the same thing is consistent. I've always said my philosophies are always tied together, that the truth is consistent. The truth may change sometimes, but it is consistent nonetheless. It's consistent in its existence at that point in time, meaning that it is universally understood for the people who understand it. Not all truths are revealed to everyone, but you should pay attention to the consistencies, because they lead you to understanding the truth that is right in front of your face, that there are purple ears of corn. Likewise, the parody to what I'm trying to get to, that their Janx is a fake. Many men have told you this. Many men have said this to you, but yet you shrug it off because you like the sentiments and the way he makes you feel about just being a woman who doesn't have to have much responsibility and should be owed the world. But that's not the truth. It's nothing but a fantasy world. See, Derrick Janx is a certain kind of pimp in so many words. Now, he isn't necessarily making women do things sexually that they may not want to do, but it involves women, and it involves you giving him money. I mean, what's the true definition of a pimp, huh? It's someone who exploits women based on their nature for money. That's what a pimp is. I mean, let's keep it real here. Men have seen this for a long time, and we've been warning you to say this man is a fake. You shouldn't believe much of anything that he says, because it does not stand for what the truth represents, because it is not consistent. Fantasies are not consistent. You know, the true construct of fantasies are meant for an individual. No two women share the same fantasy. Did you know that? The reason why is because it's specifically for you. It is something to keep you dazed while reality spins around you, while the world moves forward. And here you are sitting wondering, why is everyone leaving me? Nobody's leaving you. They're just walking their paths the same that you should be, but yet your fantasy keeps you stagnant. Nonetheless, my point, if you hear things multiple times, they're probably true. This man is an example of the things that I've been saying previously. I've told you guys, there are only 4 types of men. Go back and watch that video. It's still there. I didn't take anything down. He fits one of them. Can you guess which one he is? Because all men, unless they're asexual or something like that, which is a phenomenon. This is not the average man. It's less than 1%, by the way. So it is not even mentioned to be considered. This man, these 4 types, they all want women. I said something to my submissive the other day. Well, actually, it was yesterday. I said to her, if a man truly was monogamous, then he would pick a woman and he would stay with that woman. And he would do everything within his power, everything within his will. He would sacrifice his whole entire life in order to maintain this relationship with this woman. And he would only be attracted to her, meaning that there would be no other woman before or after her that he was attracted to. It would be just that one woman. And people would say, why not before? Well, because when you're monogamous, there's only one for you, right? There's not millions out there for you. There's only one. So how can you be attracted to someone else who is not that one, right? It's all common sense to me. Now, people would say, oh, that's fantastical, but not according to the definition. It's not really looking to what monogamy stands for, especially in the animal world. This is where we derive our senses from in regards to how social interactions go. Now, of course, we are more advanced. We're more critical. We're more, how can I say? We're more complex than animals. Nonetheless, yes. But there's one thing that's consistent. There is male, female, and there's sex involved. So there has to be a social construct behind those things, meaning that there is a female nature, there's a male nature, and then there's a sexual nature. We have to have construct behind them. But anyway, there is no man who is built to be monogamous. Why? Because he's designed to accept multiple women. Women like to talk about how, the patriarchy creates these constructs and this and that. Well, monogamy is a construct as well, created by patriarchy. If you really look into it, around about 1400s or so. I mean, you can go back further. I'm talking about Western civilization, of course. But, as far as we know in modern times, monogamy was started roughly by the Catholic Church. If you really look into your history. Some people could say I'm wrong, different countries. Once again, I'm talking about the Western civilization because that is the forefront of what we're facing as men and women. But nonetheless, a man doesn't want just one woman. Now, he may tell you this. Of course, he's going to tell you this. But go back to my video, 4 types of men, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You can apply this to just about any man. I create my video so that the layman person can understand them and can apply them to their lives. Any clarification that anyone needs, I don't mind making a video about it, believe me. If you have a topic that you want to discuss, ask me about it. I'll make a video, no problem. It may take me some time to get to it. It may not be on my high priority list, but eventually I'll get to it because I value people's opinions and I'm here to give knowledge. That's the reason why I was given all this knowledge. It's not meant for me. My knowledge doesn't serve me. It serves me, well, I'll be a lie if I said that. My knowledge doesn't serve me to the amount of it that I have, meaning that I don't access all my knowledge to solve all my problems. Now that may sound weird, right? But here's the thing. Every time that I'm faced with a problem, I go into critical thinking. Now in this critical thinking process, I have to recall memories. And sometimes I'm not able to do that because a lot of my memory processes are related to emotion. I'm a little bit strange, don't mind me. I'm a bit different than people come to find out. I thought this was normal, but other people don't recall memories as such. But anyways, so I don't access my memories the same, but when I'm approached with the situation from other people and they ask me about it, I can rattle off front to back about it. It's just me again. Don't mind me. But anyway, back to the topic. There's only 4 types of men. To the men and to the women. You need to figure out exactly who you're dealing with and who you are in order to figure out exactly what's for you. Now, you may have a fantasy about being in a monogamous relationship, but let's keep it real. If you have multiple men in your life and you're attracted to light skin, dark skin, white men, black men, all these types of men, you can find them attractive. You're probably not monogamous yourself. Now, a lot of people would throw back and say, well, women should be monogamous. And I 80% agree. But there are some women who just can't do it. Let's be real, men. There are some women who just cannot be monogamous. They have burnt out their oxytocin and their bonding hormones are their run through. There's nothing we can do for them. So let them do them all day. But for the majority of women, yes, they should be monogamous because it ruins a woman when she has to go back and forth between different men. Your grandma should have told you that. Oh, wait. That's a different time, different era that didn't apply to now. Oh, yes, it is. It applies. But a lot of the women, they have lost the grip on reality. They have lost the grip on understanding men, and they didn't pass this knowledge down, unfortunately. Good thing there are women here to teach you. Not every woman is good to listen to, by the way. Not every man is good to listen to, by the way. But you can find some knowledge that works for you here. Definitely. Nonetheless, back to the topic again. I keep going off. But anyways, Derrick Janx. He's one of the 4 types of men. Oh, he's monogamous, this and that, blah, blah, blah. No. He likes multiple women just like every other man does. All this blase about him doing this and him doing this and him giving this type of information and he wrote a book, blah, blah, blah. He's pimping y'all. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Real recognize real, right? He's pimping y'all. Now, no different than a woman out on the tracks. I'm not gonna knock you. If that's what you want to do and that's how you fulfill your life and you like being pimped, by all means. Hate the game, not the player, right? Hate the game and not the players as well, right? So do your thing. If you love them, I like them. Yeah, that's backwards to you, but it's not to me. If you love him, I like him, right? That means he's doing something that you enjoy. Even if it is a fantasy world, it's one that you like better than this one, huh? But in the meantime, if ever you want to come back to the reality, my channel is here for you. But anyways, I've talked long enough. Maybe this will be an installation that you guys can relish for some time. But until then, may you have a good day and peace be with you.